Good morning, my dear students. Today is 29th December 2017. It is Friday, and I am presenting you the newspaper analysis of The Hindu. The important news which I am taking from the today's newspaper, which are of importance from your exam point of view for intellectual pursuits, these are the triple talaq bill passed. When bill passed, it becomes act. It is coming more often in the news, and this is one important aspect. Today we will discuss about this one. NPA and structural reforms. It is the editorial. In the editorial, we are finding that this has come on in the Hindu that NPA, non-performing assets, and in which way the structural reforms are required. That point has to be discussed. Compensatory Afforestation Act. This is the second part of the editorial, and here we are finding that this is also very important. Because Afforestation Act, especially in those areas where this afforestation is required, the compensation has to be paid. From that aspect, the news in focus from the yesterday class was the Manipur. Today we will see some aspect of the history of Manipur. Coincidentally, in the leading article of on the page 8, we are finding that this has come in the news also. Interceptor missile defense system, India's defense system, you know very well, and the India's defense system, this interceptor missile defense means you suppose enemy is firing one missile from this place, you are from India, your missile goes and it matches with it's in the air and it destroys the enemy missiles. So this way it is very important. Coping pressure in school, what happens, especially with the girl child nowadays also, they are sensitive towards their academic performance and their parental pressure, school pressure, etc. The children are not able to cope it up, it culminates into suicides and that type of harms that we see in some of the coaching institutes like in Kota, etc. also, where there is a fierce competition is there. 2G scam, definitely a lot has been told about it. Today it is there the yes, no and midpoint. From that point of view, this has been discussed. Inspire, that scheme is for the return of scientists to India. Those scientists which are working outside, they will return to India. Ujjwal Discom Assurance Yojana, that is related to the power sector, and they are telling that yes, now it is getting the ground and this Ujjwal Discom Assurance Yojana is going to work. Bitcoin, how much the legality can be enforced? Some of the country it has been legalized to some extent. So from that perspective, all these news are important. So these 10 news are there. Let us understand this news page by page. My dear student, on page 1 we are finding this news that the bill to criminalize triple talaq passed in Lok Sabha. We know it very well that after the verdict of the Supreme Court by 3:2 bench, means 3 persons were that yes it should be made illegal and 2 were not having that type of the view, then the triple talaq-e-biddat was made illegal. Illegal means the IPC will come in picture. If IPC will come in picture, which IPC will be there? It will be the 498 IPC or something like that. Yes, one more IPC that yes, triple talaq is illegal. Now it will be considered as a domestic violence type of things. These things could have been there. Now they have made it the criminalized. When it becomes criminalized, police will lodge charge sheets and it will go in the court, and as per the CRPC, this will be dealt. So this, as per the CRPC, what is the provision? That it will be cognizable. Cognizable, that I have also told you to make a small write-up on this one, study class. Cognizable, and as well as it will be non-bailable. No bail will be given. So it will be considered as a, yes, it is a very different type of the crime. So this has been passed in the parliament. Definitely different type of the views will be coming, and I have also discussed this, so you are in a better position to understand this point. Considering that the New Delhi has become the gas chamber at present due to the smoke, the air quality index is very high, air quality index is very high, PM 2.5. All these things, there's some MP from the south, they are telling that we just shift the session to the south. This is I mean just see it has going to the alarming level, especially in the north, and so many towns are coming in the grip of this type of the smog. Some environmental but more man-made factors. Some environmental and more man-made factors which make these towns like the Delhi, Ghaziabad, Kanpur, Patna, Lucknow, Muzaffarpur in Bihar. These all the towns in and around, they are just becoming like a gas chamber, very difficult for people to live. And this attracts which article? This will attract Article 48. 48 ensures that yes, conservation of environment. 51A also. Article 48 is very important. My dear students, link this news with the Article 48 and you will find that it is very important for you to have one insight of Article 48 and linking of this one with the air quality index. This can be of interest for the UPSC question setters or any question setters, and it can be important from your mains point of view also. This news that WHO to classify gaming disorder a mental health condition, gaming, video games are definitely for the children perspective, it is very much harmful. It causes the depression, it causes anxiety, sleeping disorders, and the thinking process also gets disturbed. So these are these are just like problem for the adolescent age people, for the children also. And nowadays this problem is creeping up, internet addictions and the gaming problems. It is a social problem, it is becoming nowadays also. So this has to be seen. If you find this weather watch, then you are finding that yes, definitely clear sky is there, but these areas, you find especially this area, these are the air quality index is very low. And what is the turn for today? Turn for today is the Kanpur in Uttar Pradesh. 456 warning signal. Okay, for 400 and above, it is more dangerous. North India under cold wave, that is an important chapter on which we have discussed in our physical geography, that why in the North Korea at this time the cold waves are there. Link it with the jet streams movement. For those students of the geography, the jet streams and what are the winds, are flow of the winds, that how winds are coming from the western side, they are bringing that up of the cold. So from that aspect, it is the Kargil is in that area, no, that is the Pak occupied Kashmir region only, and the last point of the Kargil border, that is where we have discussing about the line of control. So these areas, it has gone to minus 9.6 degree, very alarming, very less. India leads in global milk production. My dear students, those are students of the agriculture in different type of the revolutions, we have discussed about this thing, that yes, India is the global milk production, it is a leader in that, but per capita consumption of milk may also be good, but due to inequality, usually it doesn't go to the lower people. So this is important. The first lead article, listen to these 4 girls. These girls are from the tragic suicide students in the Panapakkam in Tamil Nadu, points to the crisis that grips India's education system. Author is very rightly telling that you just when you go in the class 10th, at that time your education system, your board examination, the lot of pressures are there all over India with every parents. They will always tell the students, you just see in the board examination, you will do like that. In board examination, something happens, what will happen to you, like that. The pressure of the board examination, where a lot of secrecy is there, they are not aware that which type of evaluation systems are there. The copies are not being rechecked also to some extent, to great extent. So this generates a lot of pressure, and after board examination the students fail, then attention and anxiety in the adolescent age group becomes very high. Then what happens in the 11th class, they have to choose their elective subjects. They are being told that look, you just see you are not so good, so you have to choose this subject your elder sister has chosen, so you have to choose this one, like that. So many things are coming up, and they are not coming up to the terms of the teachers and the parents, the social pressures, and it culminates into the suicide. So this type of the things, the depression and anxiety and stress, etc., which culminates, which are just killing the adolescence of the children. They are really life, the concept of the enjoyment in the life, and these all things are being compromised. So from that aspect, we have to rethink that what type of the education system we do have. Now let us concentrate on this editorial, that is the testing times. The structural reforms alone offer a viable long-term solution in the bad loan mess. Structural reforms, then bad loan systems, the structural reforms and long-term solutions. They are also talking about recapitalization fund. They are also talking about the twin balance sheet problems, NPA, then in which way our bank can come out of it. So for these all these aspects in our economy section, we are having a good class on the NPA, recapitalization of the banks, on the structural reforms, twin balance sheet problems, so what type of the bad loans are there, what is bad bank, what is the para bank. So all these aspects have been discussed. So my dear students, you require to understand from this perspective, and you read the editorial. I am discussing some of the salient points linking with the earlier classes, so that points remain clear to you. The opening sentence of the editorial is that the central government has been working hard to address India's twin balance sheet problems, but it had not much to show in the form of results. What is the twin balance sheet problems? Definitely it is a problem that suppose I am a banker and I have given the loan to some industrialist people and the banker, so in my balance sheet there is a problem because it is becoming bad loan. Okay. Now what is happening? It has being given to the promoter or industry promoter, suppose promoter in the industrialist, and this promoter, he has taken the loan and he is not giving it back. It is also being reflected as a liability, and this is a liability, and as a result the promoter has invested in some of the industries, so they are having the shares, and these shares, these many shares, these equities, the shares, these becomes bad, this becomes red, so this becomes bad. So this is also creating problem in the promoter industry, this sector also, because otherwise bank is having claim over these things, but it is not being materialized, and in this process the NCLT will come, National Company Law Tribunal, insolvency, bankruptcy code, etc. will come. As a result, here lies the problem area, because it is not being realized also. So as a result, what happened? The government has given recapitalize, give the bank more money, give the bank more money. Let me draw in green that I have given you the more money, and more money is being given in the form, this is known as recapitalize. The capital crisis was there, so recapitalize the bank, recapitalizing by 2.11 lakh crore, perhaps not 11 lakh crore was there. They told that okay, this 2.11 lakh crore, out of this 1.36 lakh crore, that will be in the form of the bond later to be realized, and some has to be taken by you, some has to be taken by this portion also. So as a result I have recapitalized it, but in real sense how much it has come. So this is the problem. Now we try to understand the bad loan. It is growing day by day. The author is telling that the non-performing assets rose to 10.2% at the end of September from 9.6% at the end of March. Means it is being increasing day by day. It is definitely related to the public sector banks, but now the private sector banks are also having the problems. The private banks NPA increased by almost 41% as compared to 17% in case of public sector banks at the end of September. There are certain other companies also, they are also having the problems, the non-financial companies, etc. So, but the bad debt resolution and recapitalization are only part of the solutions. Recapitalization, the author is telling, is only a part of the solutions by themselves. Can do very little to rein in reckless lending that has pushed the Indian banking system to the current sorry state. So, we require the proper structuring. Under these are the systemic reforms that address the problem on unsustainable lending. Future credit cycles will continue to stress the banking system because this problem is recurrent, it will be coming on. So in this regard, government will do well to consider the recent advice of the International Monetary Fund. International Monetary Fund to reduce its ownership stake in banks and give greater power to RBI to regulate public sector banks efficiently. Structural reforms are the only long-term solutions. Very interesting. So my dear students, your question is that the structural reforms are the only long-term solutions for the bad loan, bad bank problems. So critically analyze. Very important question which has been framed here by this editorial, and if you read this editorial and if you write this one, it will help you in a long way for your understanding about the banking. So my dear students, do it very fast and do it, you have to write down in 150 words. This is the homework for today. This editorial that growing forest, it is the scientific national plan to expand good green cover is absolutely essential. This is revolving around the Compensatory Afforestation Fund Act. Compensatory uh, Afforestation Fund Act. They are telling that yes, whatever the green covers are going, cutting down due to the some dam has to be constructed, some developmental work has to be done. Definitely, this afforestation compensation has to be paid. So, from that perspective, let us try to analyze some of the salient points so that your reading of this one become pleasant. For understanding this Compensatory Afforestation Fund Act, let us try to understand the problem which we have seen earlier also in the Sardar Sarovar Dam. Sardar Sarovar Dam, you know very well regarding this one in the on the Narmada River. This dam was constructed, and as a result, almost 13,000 hectares of the land where the forest were there that could be cleared. It has to be forested. Afforestation was being done, and now afforestation are being done in that conditions. Compensation was to be paid. Compensation, this was definitely what happens after that afforestation is being done. Then we are doing monoculture. Monoculture means one variety of the tree are being planted. What will happen to the biological diversity? Biological diversity. Because the monoculture is there, the different type of the flora and fauna is not there, flora is not there. So as a result, it will create problems. There can be healthy in a monoculture system also, but still it will have a question mark on the biological diversity. But what about the unhealthy practice? Anyhow, the author is telling that afforestation has to be done. Has to be done. The task is to make an assessment of the suitable lands, preferably contiguous with the protected areas, that can be turned over the management for a joint apparatus consisting of forest staff and all those things. So this is very important as per the COP21. Paris Agreement. We have seen that yes, definitely we need the carbon sequestration, and with the carbon sequestration we can also reduce our pollution norms. So from this point we can make this green India to some extent, and all this can make a beginning only with the actualization of the law passed in 2016. If you recall that few days back only the news came that 40,000 crore rupees remain unspent for these counts, for the compensation was not being paid. So this is very important from that perspective. This news is very interesting. It is political news to some extent, but you are finding some of the aspects which are important for your exam perspective also. Here we are finding in the insert the photograph of Manipur Chief Minister N. Biren Singh. He is in a tremendous peculiar, situation, interesting situation, that he has formed a government. Only 21 BJP got the seat out of the 60 members. Out of the 60, 21, you just see less, no? So they had made a lot of pacts with all others. They made with some of the smaller parties. Congress has got 28, yes. But what happened, the earlier predecessors of him had passed some of the Manipur People's Bill, the Manipur Land Revenue, Land Reforms, Manipur Shop Establishment Bills, and they have definitely alienated the tribals. That's why they got less seats. Now they want to appease the tribals. And for the appeasement of the tribals, they have made some the Jao Ghal Memorial Cemetery. Jao Ghal Memorial Cemetery. And it is an important, it is just near to Bihang. Bihang is important. It has been asked sometime in the examination also. Sorry, Bihang. Bihang is a place from where they go to the Burma, and there is a great trading point also. This point becomes more important when there will be entry from the Burma, when the Ganga Mekong project will be there. So Bihang, my dear students, this is important from this one. The Jao, and now we are coming to this important, interesting story, that here Jao Gal Memorial Cemetery, it was being formed, and here we are also finding that what we are finding that they has laid the foundation stone for the Maharaja Chandrakirti Memorial Park at the Chibu, that is 2 kilometers away from the Bihang. Maharaja Chandrakirti, and if you recall, perhaps in 1857 the mutiny was there. After that in 1871, 72, etc. We are finding that this Maharaja Chandrakirti was a great loyalist to the Britishers. They have done what not for the tribals. There are two types of history. One history of the valor of the Maharaja Chandrakirti, that with the help of the Britishers what not he has done. But there is a tribal history, the tribal uprising. There are the peoples. The Jao martyrs, the Jao martyrs, here it is written, Jao martyrs, 94 odd Jao martyrs, they sacrificed their lives fighting against the British attempt to forcibly deploy them as a labor corps during the World War One. So this, and there was one Go Khao Thang, he died in 1872, it is written here. So considering all these things, now he has to balance it, because you are at this one time Chandrakirti you are praising, but at that time, second time you are finding that okay, tribal history should also be appraised. This is the peculiar situations. So there we have to see that how will he balance. Definitely one thing is very important, my dear students, you must understand that taking the lineage from the history is always going to praise. I am going to make you somebody to unplease. What is the reason? Suppose you are telling that Akbar was great, some of the Maharana Pratap loyalists becomes very angry with you. If you are telling Maharana Pratap is great, some of the secular thinkings, they will tell no, Akbar was the great person, because history has told like that. So this type of the ideals should not be brought in the national mainstream. Development, and development, that's all, that's development. How much you can please, how much you can make the lower people happy, descendants, compassion to the descendant, compassion to the lower, in lower people who are unequally placed, who are not having the access to the mainstream, their development, that makes you a great person. So that should be the government. On the 2G spectrum, a lot has been spoken, and this was it really a scam, or was it zero loss was there, that I have also discussed. They are telling that definitely what happened. So chronologically, if you analyze, then we are finding that there was not such great problem as it has been projected by the media, by the CAG to some extent also. This is coming at the last sentences, and you will find that a very balanced approach has been taken. You understand each and every basic aspect, basic foundation is clear related to 2G spectrum. So reading this will be a fun for you. Pay raise for the judges, interesting, because the judges required to be paid, they have to be compensated, because practice is also not there after that. So the definitely 7th pay commission is there, price is rising. So this is a good article, just go to it. This news is also important. Interceptor missile successfully tested, the part of the ballistic missile defense system, and the advanced air defense interceptor missiles. These are some of the important words around which this advanced air defense interceptor missiles, ballistic missile defense systems, around which India's defense system. These all are the important aspects. From here, your understanding must be very good. Indian Ballistic Missile Defense Program is an initiative to develop and deploy a multi-layered ballistic missile defense system, ballistic missiles defense systems to project the ballistic missile defense attacks. So introduced in the light of the ballistic missile threat mainly from the Pakistan or from the other country, it is a double-tiered system consisting of two land and sea-based interceptor missiles. Interceptor missiles, as I have told, that suppose this is interceptor missiles, it will go, and somebody suppose it has fired first. No, just after seconds it will understand the trajectory and it will go in the middle. And in the middle there will be a collision. It will be, it will be this one will be out. This one will be there, and there will be a burning, this type of the things. So this is the interceptor missile system. This is a high altitude interception is required, because it should not be on the ground. It should be at the high altitude, and that's why it is known as the advanced air defense. Advanced air defense. You know that in the air defense, the role of the radar is very important. And the two-tier shield should be able to intercept any incoming missile launched from 5,000 kilometers away. And the system also includes an overlapping network of the early warning and tracking radars, as well as command and control posts. This one, the Prithvi air defense, was tested in November 2006 also, 2007 also. So we have developed this, but officially we have still to claim it, that we have still to announce it rather, or not commissioned officially. But yes, we are competent. We are having this type of the competency. Taken some clue from this, from the internet. Let us try to understand how does it functions. That this one is the enemy missiles are being launched here at this place. Enemy missiles are being launched. Then we are finding that yes, The number two, that India's AWACS, the Airborne Warning Control System, AWACS, AWACS, the Airborne Warning and Control Systems alerts the control centers. And then after what happens, the long range radar tracking, this becomes, long range radar, this one, the 3 number, long range radar, this one, the traces velocity and the direction of the missile. And after that, the air missiles comes closer. Second radar, the French red, this one radars, these are, we have taken the collaboration from the Israel, then France also. And the interceptor missiles launches, and it just collided in the air. And after collision in the air, the hostile missile is destroyed. The interceptor missile fires towards the enemy missile guided by on-board thermal radars, that is the Russian build. So we are having the Russian collaborations, Israel collaboration, France collaboration, and we have developed this one. So this is the international, Indian ballistic missile defense programs. Some link has been given in your in your postscript, where you can have watch this good type of the systems on this one also. Some animations and some more concepts are there. You will try to understand that what are the Kali, what is the Barak. These all things you will come to know about that one. Important for a main perspective mainly. As per the Government of India program, now more scientists are coming back. There is one Inspire. This is sometimes in the staff selection commission, etc. They do ask this type of the question. So innovation in science pursuit for inspired research. This is a program which inspired the scientists, Indian scientists, who are working outside to come here and to take up the research in India, get a faculty position in IIT or some of the prestigious institutions. So these type of the systems are there. They are coming back. You know very well. H1B visa crisis is there in USA, and they want that, yes, on our land now there are some good systems are there. Patriotism is the second criteria. Main criteria is that one, the job security. Then this news that Uday states have reduced Uday Ujjwal Discom Assurance Yojana. Ujjwal Discom Assurance Yojana, my dear students, write it down. This is what? We are having a good lecture on the Uday in our economic class also. So because in the power sector, in the electricity center, this state has to take the lead, and they have taken on the basis of the bond. Now earlier they were in the losses, but now the loss has been reduced. The loss has been reduced from the 51,000 crore, it has come to the 34,000, 16,000 crore. In fact, the loss has been reduced. That is a good signal. Regarding the Bitcoin, we have seen earlier also, and Bitcoin, they are finding that in some of the country, Bitcoins have been regulated. There are some of the, and the author is telling here, the correspondent is telling that yes, something good will be coming. Coming from the back, we have seen the Bitcoin, the Uday schemes are there. Then we have also seen that the Inspire, that how the people are coming back. The 2G scams, definitely the coping the pressure in the schools. Then we are this one, the 2G scam pressure. Then this one, the defense, India's defense system, how does it work? Then we are also seeing intercept missile successfully tested from the news. This one is the unmindful of the history of the Manipur, balancing between the tribal history and the British history. This is the problem. Growing forest, that is the Afforestation, Compensatory Afforestation Fund Act, very important, my dear students. If you get one question out of it, please don't get surprised. I am already telling you, and whenever I am telling the things, it becomes a reality most of the time. Then this one, that testing the times, structural reforms offer a viable long-term solutions. Definitely, this is also very important. You are required to make a write-up, and I have told you. And in this aspect, you just see this is the postscript. No, here I am giving you one of the link here. Suppose this one is the link. This one is the link. And on this link, if you will click, you will find every aspect related to the structural readjustment. So this is important. Bill to criminalize triple talaq. So we are finding that all these aspects, the triple talaq bill, NPA structural reforms, Compensatory Afforestation Act, history of Manipur, interceptor missile defense system in India, good piece of article, you just preserve it. Coping pressure in the schools, good for the essay point of view. 2G scam, definitely some aspects required to be understood by you. What is 2G, what is 3G, what is 4G. Inspired return of scientists to India, Uday, usual discount assurance Yojana and Bitcoin. These all aspects have been discussed. You require to make a write-up on all these points and have to link with our syllabus so that any aspects if are coming you will not miss. My dear students, daily coming with the newspaper analysis, you will be in a better position to answer most of the questions in the PT as well as in the mains. And mains and PT are not different. So all the best. Thank you.